Hello and welcome back to Tactics Talk with Guido. Thanks for tuning in. On this episode I have a replay sent in by Thylacoleo. He is driving his Tier 10 JPZ 100 German casemate TD in a grand battle, the Jagzilla. So he sent this video in to me, or this replay, and looking for some advice on grand battles. Also looking for some advice on how he could have done better. He said it's the first time in a grand battle out of 4 or 5 that he felt like he actually contributed. So I'll be honest from the beginning, I haven't played a lot of grand battles. In fact, I turned it off for the marathon, and I'm about to turn it back on. I probably have a dozen at the most games in it. So I'm going to hesitate to talk too much about tactics on this map, just some generalizations that I have personally found. So this is a learning experience for me as we go, but we will talk about what he's doing with his JPZ and specifically on game mechanics and things like that. He's asked all the great questions. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What could I do better? I'll answer all these questions as best I can within the context of what I just discussed. So off we go. You can see that he has spawned on that middle spawn. On this map there are 3 different spawns and the team is split evenly into 3 spawn points. Let's just talk what I know right now about this map. If you look over on the east side, from the northeast spawn, they're headed down to the southeast corner. From what I can tell so far on the limited games I've played, this spawn on the east side has a huge disadvantage getting to this very southeasterly fighting point. This spawn can get across here with sweeping fire before these guys can cross, and these guys have a harder time getting down here in position and shooting for these guys crossing here. That is what I have seen so far. Now, the speed of the tank will have something to do with it, but there ends up being a bit of a peek-a-boom fight right along this corridor. You can see that Thylacoleo is headed up here into this forested area on the side of this hill, which is a supporting fire area for this fight down here in the southeast. It is similar to Proc or Fiery Salient Hill in that these two sides can actually support each other, although I would say this is probably quite a bit more exposed, especially if you push up at all, than the Proc or Fiery Salient Hill. The enemy teams will come up here from what I have seen, but not too much. It seems like the green team in this case has a better capability of holding this hill, but there will be reds sitting on the backside, and they're all looking for lights down here to shoot. Once everything's down behind this big hill, it's very hard to hit, but if they're hitting or hanging out on the backside of it, playing the peekaboo game back in these rocks and things like that, fighting the green team, then there may be the opportunity for shots down here. Likewise, if you get lit here, there are shots of opportunity back up onto you there as well. Well, we won't discuss the city side. The city side is a city, which is almost a completely different battle than the rest of this map. Let's go a little bit faster here as Thigh gets into position. So you really have 2 fights going on. You've got this fight generally up here and this fight down here. This middle fight seems like a lot of people are backing off, even messing around with that. This battle doesn't seem to have much going on there in any event. Whether that's the meta or that just happened in this battle, I can't tell you at this point on my experience. So he's got these guys hiding behind these rocks. That's pretty typical from what I've seen. The AMX looks to be maybe out in the middle. There's a couple more rocks in there that he could be hiding behind as well. And you can see that the little stagnated fight is going on down there in the southeast as everyone's using some hold down, some buildings and some rocks that are down there, taking pot shots at each other. And from this position, Thigh has just out to draw range for most of the things he's facing. He's inside spotting range for the 57, although he's got lots of trees and he's bushed up. The concern, obviously, then, is one of the enemy team getting close enough in this area and getting him spotted. So we'll see how this thing develops. Thigh, I don't know if you are using a zoom out mod. I think you are, because a couple times it looks like you're looking for tanks. You're zoomed out as far as my vanilla will show, but it looks like you're looking at the ground. And I assume you've got a zoom out mod and you're trying to actually see turret positions and hull positions and things like that. You'll see that a couple times in this game. The other thing is, that was good right there. A couple times I'm going to watch you move your cursor around looking for tanks. If I'm doing something like this, I'm in a TD and I'm in a nice hidden TD position, I'll zoom in and kind of move my cursor around. Just gives me a little better fine tuning to find him, which is exactly what you did on this guy. Just a little bit of a rush shot, otherwise you could have really just pounded that guy. And he gets away. Now zoom out right after that happens. There's no reason to keep zoomed in. You've got another 42 years before you reload. So zoom out and see if there's something else lit that you can deal with. Or at least get pre-zoomed into. And that's what I'm talking about there. I would investigate all those contacts. You may know based on the map that you're not going to have a shot on them, but I would always look around, see if you can't find an edge of these guys. Zoom out, try to find that other guy. There you go. Oop. Alright, so spotted. And that's what I'm talking about. This is fairly exposed right now. You've been lit, you're trying to back out. I think this is the right idea. The Type 5 takes a pot shot at you. 183 damage. Unknown if he's got the smaller gun. Probably the big one. It's just that this thing is so heavily armored. Here we go. This dude just has no idea. Eats 1100. And 4. Tracked by you or someone else. It looks like by you, and down he goes. So you can see that fight's developing down there. And this is interesting. I noted that this game did not seem to have much going on the top. There's no enemy reds poking through this corner or getting up in the top and spotting back here or anything. So I'm curious and interested if this is just a dead zone that nobody goes to anymore, or if it just happened on this map. What it looks like to me happened here is a lot of their middle spawn guys headed down here to the southeast. And there's the guy that's getting up there and spotting you, so the push is there. This is kind of a dangerous move to me. You're giving side armor to everyone down below, but if you just snapped it off a little faster, you might have been able to get that shot. Looks like you're going for the middle of that bar. The outside wings are not hit boxes, so it looks like you've got that. You understand that. Takes a while to re-zoom into here. I don't know why this Foshby is standing in against the IS-7. I think he's just trying to take his clip out and kill this guy, but this is a bummer. This shot goes right. Oh, dude. That's awful. I might have gone for the lower plate. I don't know. And there's the first of a couple already hits that you're going to eat right there. This poor Foch just cannot back fast enough. Even at the 42-year point of your reload, you still can't get away. Okay, this is an interesting thing and something I talked about in Casemates. Look how far the azimuth to the right of your gun is. You're about to hit the stop. When I see somebody moving in a certain direction and I know I'm going to need some more of that field of regard with my gun, I'll just shift the hole very early so that I don't hit the stop. So your hole should be pointing more like this, and then you would get that shot. You know that's the way he's going, and you were still on a reload, so just shift it and then get your gun back online. As it is, it's just where you need it to be. And that, again, is the danger of that spot right there. You guys got lit up by that Foch. I'm surprised that those guys down there didn't shoot you more, but there's a lot fewer of them, and they're just a little bit out of draw distance. They're actually fully engaged with your tanks down there. Now, whether that's a typical thing or just odd to this particular match, again, like I said, I'm still learning this as well, so I'm not 100% certain. T-57's kind of out in no man's land right there. Just as a general rule, try to avoid knocking trees down, just so that it's just a little SA that they'll know you're moving around, and if the trees are falling towards them, they know you're moving towards them, or whatever direction the trees are turning or dropping. Gives them somewhat of an idea which way you're going. Type 5's heading down there, or still hanging out down there. Looks like your southeast is winning and your city is one big, so the city is pushing through. This is not a bad idea right here, pushing into these guys. It's not very easy to count noses on this. You can, for me, at least on my computer, what's highlighted dead and what's still alive is kind of hard to see. The red is really light. However, you can get a big picture idea with the 51%, well, now 49% now for your team and 33% for theirs, and then the numbers up there. So you are definitely winning. Pushing in here, we're going to get a little revenge on that HMC that hit us. See that you auto aim this guy. I don't know, I might have zoomed in on him, but it's technique. There you go. Nice job. Shift around here till you can get a shot on the JPZ. There you go. Aiming for where his lower plate was. Somebody shot one in. Looks like they hit him once. Whether they pinned or not, I don't know. He didn't get spotted. He's on the edge of draw range, or spotting range, not draw range. And the FV gets lit. So this is an interesting spot here. You knew you never really had any shots on that Type 5. You might now, I don't know. I don't think so. No, he's kind of behind a bunch of stuff right there. I think I might have pushed up. This bush looks like a likely spot to get in and maybe get some more shots on guys that are hanging out back on the TD hill, or swing around and take shots on guys like him. There's a couple of these guys running around, so we're going to get a shot. This is my same comment as earlier. Maybe stopping so that your hole was more pointed that direction or so, then kind of stopping with your hole pointed straight at him, then having to zoom in, then having to track and potentially touching onto the stop of your gun, and then watching your hole shift and your bloom explode. Just one of those positioning things with these big TDs that's a real pain in the rear. This guy appears to be in a lot of trouble. His name is Landship. He's definitely driving one. Somebody else got a big piece of him. You'll drop 792 on him. So what's left? You got a JPZ there. You got a JPZ up on their sniper hill, and what, maybe an Artie running around. And this was an interesting decision for me. Let me go back to the beginning. I like the aggressiveness. You didn't go park on your TD hill. That's fantastic. You got your gun up and in the game, and were able to support. That Foch could have probably got in there and done quite a bit of damage to the IS-7, maybe even lived and come back with a clip, but because you were up forward fighting, you helped break that guy pretty quickly, securing that little middle flank as it were there on the hill. So that was all good. And now you're being aggressive moving forward, bringing your gun to the game, so that's all good. But this is an interesting decision for me right here, because you're going to come off of this hill when you basically you're the master of all you survey up here. You really can sweep fire on this. I might have once again got up to this bush right here, and then maybe look for a shot on that JPZ getting lit up. You know he's going to. If you get down into the bottom here, that's fine. But there's only two games in town. This clown here and this guy, and the Artie's back here somewhere probably. And you're not any faster than these guys. So really, this is the old, I'm going to steal some of your damage trick. Just get up here and wait and see if you can't drop a shot on them. Once you get down here, then your angle's much worse. You're not going to be able to get up and take shots on top right there. I think you're just kind of giving up a shot. Which goes back to my aggressiveness. Yeah, great aggressiveness, but end game, you're just not going to get up there. So sit back and aggressively steal some hit points. And there's that guy. You definitely would have shot on him. There you go. I would have looked at him first. Just because I could tell by looking at that rock I'm not going to see him, but this guy I might actually get a shot on. I definitely would have had one had I stayed up top. There goes the wounded one. Oh, there's another Artie. There's one more guy alive than I thought. And Thy will not get any more shots in there. This ends up being about a 4,000 damage game. I believe that one of those hits into that JPZ, that blind shot, actually struck. So nice job overall. I thought you definitely were aggressive and got your gun in the game and got forward. As far as the specific ins and outs of this map, like I said, I'm still learning. I gave a few of the tidbits that I think I know right now, but as we go, eventually I'll come up with a map guide and be a little more familiar with this. I've already turned back on my grand battles just to check them out a little bit more now that the marathon's over and it's not crushing my will to live in the marathon. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thy, nice game overall. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep on supporting it. And as always, we will see you.